Get your boy. Beautiful. Might do some bologna sandwiches today. Just might do that. We are going to have a little smoothie. Right now we're doing a smoothie. Got blueberries, organic blueberries here. Quickly get the blender, a quick rinse out. Get our protein powders and whatnots. Right now. Okay, she's all rinsed, ready to go. We gave her a wash yesterday with hot soapy bubbles, but why not do 2 in a row? Extra clean, extra mean, you know what I'm saying? Actually, I didn't have a smoothie yesterday. I washed this out 2 days ago, so there you go. So, we'll start off with our May 26th cashew, the cashew unsweetened silk. Seriously nutty. So we got that in. Now we're going to grab what we would grab normally, which is our ingredients. I always like to add the berries after I add the powders. This way they kind of sit on top of all the powdery things I put in. Get what I'm saying? Got 1 scoop of protein. This stuff's so tasty. Next, vitamins are already in us. These 2 are down. Let's get this one in there. This one kind of offsets the veggies that I just put in there. It tastes so good. Okay, that's going to be her. Now, I'm just going to put the berries in. I'll put all 4 of those away while this is kind of thinking about how hot I am, of course. We're going to add a little bit of juice to this today. And it is the cran raspberry. So tasty. Just a little bit. Come on, jiggle it. Just a little bit. Oh, come on, jiggle it. What? Just a little bit. Okay, that's stuff for the recycling. Take that out. We got stuff for the freezer and the fridge here, so get this stuff put away. Recycling, fridge, and freezer. Easy peasy. And actually, I guess we could have our sandwiches. I'd start now. Kind of hungry, but I put in the freezer. I'm thinking we could probably have something here. Let's see. Put these away and let's wipe down the counters. And I already wiped it down at like 6 a.m., but let's wipe them down again. It's 2:30, almost 3 p.m. Almost 2:30. 20 minutes or so. Closer to 3 p.m. Alright, so Pasta tomorrow, lentil soup tonight, but pizza this afternoon. This is my breakfast. Let me smoothie this once more. Bran muffins too, so I'm gonna make oatmeal raisin and raisin bran and oatmeal almond walnut with cinnamon and raisin actually. So those are bran muffins and oatmeal muffins. And then I'm gonna make chocolate chip cookies. And of course I'm gonna freeze the majority of that stuff, but I'm gonna keep 3 or 4 muffins of each type for myself, 3 or 4 for my chick, over the course of a week or so, and I'm gonna keep myself a dozen cookies. If she wants 4, 5, or 6, she can have 4, 5, or 6. I'll make 50 cookies, 48 cookies. I'll make 48 muffins. So between the 2 types. So let's get that. Got my cookie tray, cookie pan ready. Don't feel like making muffins right now. What I do feel like is either protein pancakes or French toast. And I'm really, really thinking about French toast. How many of y'all had French toast before? I was thinking of chopping up the yams too. I'll bake off the yams today. And we got some yams, some garlic. I'll roast some onions. Some potatoes as well, some carrots in this roasting pan here. In the sheet pan that I'll turn into I'll put some parchment down, a little olive oil on the parch, on the veg, whatever. And I'll do it like that. At least she's all ready to go now. What's that did? Scrubby dubbied. One quick time here. Alright. I should have been a baker, yo. Squeegee the counters, soap them up. Away she goes. I love having a clean house. Hopefully y'all have somewhat of a clean house, because I'm telling you, if you have like older house with your walls haven't been painted in a while, or it's just an older home and maybe it kind of smells a little bit in there, washing your walls is an excellent way to knock down some of the stink, because the majority of the stink will come from your couches, your furniture, right? Sweat, you wash your couch, you wash your clothes, right? But you never wash your couch, right? So your cushions are all full of everything. You fart, wet farts, you have an accident here, accident there, the cat, the dog, this and that. That all builds up, right? And then over time it turns into like bacteria, and then it's dangerous, right? So if you have a couch where it's kind of sealed in like a pleather couch, those are way more sanitary than a cloth couch that's just soaked in urine and sweat. And like sweating is basically dead skin, right? Now, is it dead dirty skin, right? It's kind of gross to think about, but bugs eat that stuff that's in your couch and the cushions right now. There's bugs in your couches living off the stuff that you leave behind, right? So it's a never-ending just circle of doom in your couches. I highly recommend changing out your couches every 5-10 years, depending on how dirty you are, right? If you don't clean very often, if you sleep a lot on your couches, if you're constantly falling asleep on your couches, That's gross, yo. If you have a pleather couch, it's a lot less. Look it up, like look into it. Your couch can't have a lot of bugs sitting on the surface, which means bugs won't really be inside. Of course there'll be some, but you're looking at having bugs living on the surface, in the middle, in between. If you use a certain type of material, they're like, it keeps them at bay, you know, big time. So look into it, do the math, do the research. Lots of people like to stay clean, but you're missing some of the biggest spots, you know. How big is your couch? How much does it weigh? And then think about how much that thing has bugs in it, you know. Our couches will be 10 years old next September, so we'll probably, and then the other couches in the basement are only about 4 or 5 years old. And they're brand new when we bought them. My wife washes the cushions. It doesn't stink in our basement. It doesn't smell nutty. It doesn't smell like old people like sleep around all day in the couches. No, nothing like that. You'll see what I'm talking about. The older you get, you know, the more people you get to grow old with, you'll notice they leave like a nutty smell behind in the car and the vehicle they're in. And they're just lazy, right? It's nothing to do with they're deteriorating in front of your eyes. They're just lazy and they don't wash very good, right? They might wash once a week or twice a week, but the older you get, you should probably wash yourself every day. I do now, and I'm not even old, you know? I'm a young dude, you know? I'm very young compared to most people. I look way younger than most, you know, 25, 30-year-olds that are unhealthy. It can be a guy or a girl. Women can be just as unhealthy as a dude. I mean, how bad are your teeth? How bad is your hairline? How bad is how great is your hair? How malnourished is your life, right? So that's how when you don't eat properly, when you feed your body impurely for over and over for decades, it shows really fast, right? If you eat moderately healthy and fairly bad, you last 10 years longer than the people that just didn't take care of themselves at all. It's amazing how, I mean, if you love life, right, you should care about what you put in your body, right? You can tell people who don't love life are, you know, lazy with diet and exercise and things like that. They don't take their health seriously, is how it's worded, right? And a lot of people are like, oh yeah, well, it's all metabolism. No, but if a person eats unhealthy for 60 days straight, no matter, you know, what you think, if they just sat around on a couch every day for, you know, 700 hours in 3 months, you will end up very, very obese. And just because you're skinny, it doesn't mean you're healthy. It just means that your body is probably dying inside, number one. Or number two, you are absolutely dying inside. And it's just taking this long to show, right? It's sad, but like that, what I'm saying, I watched a guy actually get cancer, and then, like, he looked like he was all healthy and losing weight, and then like a couple years later he died, like horribly. So it's pretty crazy how it works. You think you're getting healthy, you've made a couple changes, but really you still eat half the bad stuff you normally do. Your body is just withering and wilting right in front of you. That's why you can't lie to yourself, right? Your body shows signs, and if you take those signs seriously at the right age, you can reverse the adverse reactions of an unhealthy diet. But if you don't reverse it on time, it's too late majority of the time. And then how unhealthy is your physical nature, right? You have a body that eats, right? But you also have a body that doesn't work out, or it works out too much, right? If it works out just right, again, you're gonna live a really long time. But if you don't work out at all, your body will wither so much faster. When you get sick, when you're injured, you'll see it in a person. It'll just drain them down, like just the smallest thing that normally like a healthy person it wouldn't be bad for. If you're old, plus you're unhealthy, plus you have all these underlying health, concerns because of your lack of respect for diet. You just pass the buck on all your family members to take care of you. And I know a girl who's dealing with something like that with a family member, and it's sad. It's sad. She's very upset that her family member is very morbidly obese, very, like, she requires help a lot, and that's sad. I don't really know anybody like that, and I can see how it impacts a child, to not have your parent take you to this or do this with you, or they can't go up the stairs, so they can't go here. Like, I get it. I can see how it can affect a kid. Not to mention, kids aren't very nice when you see see someone's parent and they're morbidly obese and they're trying to hobble somewhere or something. It's an eyesore. I mean, everybody else is quick to point out other things, but it's true, right? Obesity. Why look at people who have addiction as being the ones who are keeping society down? I think it's morbidly obese people that keep society down, to be honest with you. People with addiction just aren't strong enough mentally to realize that, right? But a person that is morbidly obese, may claim to be so against drugs, right? But then they're popping all these different weight loss drugs, and they're all experimental, right? And they'll do anything, right? They'll take anything. It's kind of, I've always said, it's a person in a glass house always throws the most stones. And all of us live in glass houses, but some of us with only one window or one little pane of glass left in their house, all they can do is just sit there all day and chuck stones like they know what they're talking about. And they're the most, harmful people, because you either respect them because of their age or their seniority-ship in your family, which that's wrong, right? Based off what we know nowadays, the smartest people in people's families, the ones who take care of the older people now, are the 30 and the 40 and the 50-year-olds, at very best 50. I mean, there's 50 is even kind of computer illiterate for the most part now. Not all, but yeah. There are a lot of and I mean in like the most basic of ways. Like, you can't file your own return of this or that, and you need like 6 people in your family to help you do one thing. You can't claim to be a boss if all day you get wiped for. You can't. It doesn't work like that. You can't claim that you're off on your own doing what you can, and when all day somebody else has to take care of you, right? Nobody took care of me when I was 21 years old. I took care of myself. Of course, my mom was around, but I took care of myself. My mom didn't see me for like 20 days at a time. And if I saw her, it was for like a minute or two, my mom never helped me I never asked for my mom's help for darn near hardly anything after 20. Even before that, even at 16, I wasn't home all the time or hardly at all, especially on the weekend. She didn't really like that. But not really much someone can do, right? Like, it's a good thing I got out from underneath a woman, being a 16-year-old teenager, because there's such a thing as influence, right? And you don't want to have a woman influencing a young man, for too long after, they're 14, 15, 16, 17. Women don't get it, right? Just the same way a man doesn't get a woman's life. Women don't get what a man goes through, what a man has to go through, and what a man has to become in order to live, right? So I see people all the time always thinking that the smartest person in your family is the loudest, right? If you think the smartest person in your family is the loudest or is the one that berates somebody the most, you're just part of the problem,
I grew up in a family with hardly any yelling. And I wouldn't change it for the world, right? The loudest person in my family was probably me. And I was hardly ever right as a child. So as I got older, I learned to keep my mouth shut and just listen. And I got smarter and smarter. But in most of your families, ask yourselves a true question. Don't you feel like the smartest person you feel in your family is the loudest? Isn't that kind of just disgusting? It's not the person who yells the most that you have to listen to, that you have to believe. It's the person who treats you the best, the person who guides you with with a good hand, right? Not screams and scolds at you and threatens you to do it this way. You hardly ever listen to that person. The person who berates you. So, now I'm kind of feeling like hot bologna sandwiches. So let's get that going. What up, homies? Hot bologna sandwiches. These are vegan bologna sandwiches, by the way. Don't worry, I'm going to show you the package. Some of you get a little worked up. Oh, hey, everybody. How you doing? All right. Slice up some cucumber. What do you think? Maybe after? I just want this hot bologna sandwiches. I'm going to have 4 slices of toast. Let's get that going. Plug in the toaster. Got this huge. I've been just chugging on this smoothie here, so I don't know what you've been doing all afternoon, but I'm working. Working on the range, yo. Ah, man, the kitchen's clean. I vacuumed, I swept. Basically ready to do bubble already. I was supposed to start at like 6 p.m. It's 2:35. Yes, I'm ahead of the game. This is the first week in months I gotta make sure. Yeah, I really did everything already. That's crazy. I'm about to make lentil soup, which is my dinner. I'm actually gonna pour the lentils right now and get ahead of this. We're gonna go for like what I'm going to be doing at like 8 p.m. I'm going to get that done right now. So, plus the soup tastes better when it sits. So, put that much lentils. That's for breakfast for my wife tomorrow, for lunch when she wakes up. Whatever that is. So she'll have that garlic cheese toast or something she'll have on the side, or fried bologna sandwiches if she wants that. Whatever she's craving, she can have that tomorrow with her lentil soup. So that's our lunch and breakfast tomorrow, plus my supper for tonight. Now I'm gonna rinse these lentils off really quick in the sink, cold water. So, like so. Helmet there. Now, once the lentils are washed, seasonings for the lentils are right here. This one and that one. That's ready. I'm not gonna start the lentils now, but I'll have them rinsed. Yeah, I may as well just make the damn soup right now. I'm going back outside, so I'll air out the house in a minute here. Which reminds me, actually, I'm going to use a little bit of this one as well. Careful, eh? Perfect. The blender will get washed out when I'm done. Let those lentils soak for a bit. Let's wash the, let's fry our bologna, eh? This is plant-based, plant-based bologna. Actually, the package is over there. I'll get it in a second. But you've seen me eat this thing. Well, let's go check the last 3 weeks of streams, having this once or twice a week. This is my second time this week. I'm gonna have so many slices, I don't know, 3 slices, I guess. Probably have 4 slices, why not? Also 10 slices here, all 4 of them. Alright. Now, what else is next? That's it, really. I got 2 toasted bologna, veggie bologna sandwiches, half gallon plus of smoothie. Oh yeah, plus I'll have a bowl of lentil soup when it's ready. It won't be ready for a couple hours. I'm going to eat my dinner and watch Star Trek Discovery, so hopefully you all can join me for a sleep stream silent reaction film video brought to you by, obviously, your host with the absolute most, Hash Info. Lentils are ready to go on the stove. We're completing, so what else I got to do? If I pitch the cat outside in the garage after, I'll go outside and rake a bit there, and then I'm done. Back will be done for at least 6 weeks, 6 months almost. I really don't have that much to rake. I did such a good job last season before it ended. In the back here, that I'm just gonna add some soil to the little bit of leaves that are around the trees right now, and that'll be that. Chop up a bunch of sticks and branches. And then I'll chuck that in there before I put the soil down. And then actually there'll be a bunch of ashes and stuff from all the debris. And I'll fill a few buckets and then I'll just sprinkle that all through the trees and stuff. It's gonna be awesome. I hope you all really have a good season this year. I don't even have to sweat it. I could basically, just I don't even have to do anything. Mine will be ready in like no time. You know what I'm saying? That's how good I am. But hopefully y'all can figure out some way to get something to finish. Some of you can't even get a plant of flower. I mean, it sucks, man. You had all those years to pay attention and listen and close your mouth and not be a total goof in the chat. But you can tell the people that didn't learn nothing. You can tell the people who are trolls out there because you still grow like a complete goof, Veggie bologna's ready. I'm actually going to use the same burner, but we're going to use it for the lentils here. And the lentils, that's a sufficient amount of water. Now we're going to season the set of lentils. And away she goes. I'm going to get the toaster out. That should be perfect. Maybe a hair more. That one's good. So we're gonna I have lunch and breakfast here. Brunch, we're calling lunch and brunch. lunch and breakfast and lunch here, and then we're gonna do this is dinner. So I feel like something's missing from this meal, but can always eat something else after. Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we? All right, well this is done, put away. That's put away. Let's have some more of our protein shake here. So tasty. Purple, ladies and gentlemen. You can taste the purple. That's what I'm saying. I know some of the finest, you know. Sorry, the finest, period. All right. Probably feed the cat in a little bit too, so we get that did.